joining me today. Just finishing up some reactive trunk training. Woo! Hey, thanks for joining me today. I hope I bring you something that will totally change the way you train the core, specifically the abdominals. You know, the abdominals, we all know, are key core muscles. They're key stabilizing muscles. But what we don't understand is they're reactive muscles. And I think a lot of times we get caught up in making them more of an accelerator than a deaccelerator. I think sometimes we think of them as muscles that move us, when in reality they are muscles that protect us. And they protect us when we're on the fly. Think about it for a second. The role of the core, specifically the abdominals, maintain your center of gravity over your base of support. So when your base of support or your feet are flying around, your core is right there to stabilize you. Make sure it protects what? Lumbar spine. Protects the lumbar spine from going too far. Not from staying stable, not from staying right where it's supposed to, but from going too far. The lumbar spine has movement. It's okay to move it a little bit, but it doesn't have so much movement that we overmove it or hyperextend it or hyperflex it or hyperside bend it. That's why you've heard this word anti-side bending, anti-lateral flexion, anti-rotation. Well, that's the new catch term for basically saying, hey, we got to teach the trunk to be a reactive stabilizer so that it learns how to slow us down and decelerate. Nothing new, same old stuff, and I've been training reactive trunk work for a long time. Why? Because bands are perfect to train reactive trunk. Now there's a couple keys before I show you some exercises that you have to understand. Number one, reactive trunk training cannot happen until you have isometric stabilization control. Therefore, your pillars, your planks, your stabilization with the band and locking in, all of those are very important drills that you must do first before you can go into this reactive trunk training. Then once you get into reactive trunk training, the key is this. The key is velocity. Making sure that people understand how to control. And so first thing you're going to do is put them into a standing position. Now I like to use medicine ball training. It was interesting, I was just reading an article how a person was using medicine ball training to work on speed, primarily deceleration, change of direction speed. Makes all the sense in the world, because if you can't stop, you can't accelerate. Well, what if you hooked a band to that same medicine ball training? And now you do non-released medicine ball training, which is what this person was referring to. Great article. So let me show you what I mean. Take your medicine ball. Don't make it real heavy. Make it a 5 pound, 6 pound, 8 pound at the most. But you're not going to release it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to attach a band to your hips. And you're going to go ahead and do some non-release medicine ball throwing, and you're going to hit the trunk in all three planes of motion. Let me show you what I mean. Let's first of all hit the sagittal plane. So just like this, you're going to throw it overhead. I'm just going to release it. No, not going to release it. I'm going to throw it overhead. Notice my front foot stays put, doesn't move. What I'm teaching myself is to handle the momentum of the ball, not releasing it, momentum of the band, pulling me back. And boy, I'm telling you, I'm training the core, or the trunk, from the ground up and from the top down. Awesome stuff, but you got to learn how to lock it in. So make sure you start slow first. And then, as they start getting better, you can increase velocity. That's the sagittal plane. Let's go lateral side bending. Oh, lost my balance. See, that's the key. Remember, keeping your center of gravity over your base of support. Lateral side bending. Let's go rotation. Come on, throw that. Oh, bring it back home. Throw it, bring it back home. Throw it, bring it back home. Now, there's two ways to train this. You can train it for acceleration. You can train it to really work on your deceleration and stick. Or you can work on your ability to accelerate off your deceleration step. Let me show you the difference. It's really a mindset. First I'm going to go ahead, we'll do anti-rotation or the rotational movement. I'm going to work on just sticking. So I'm going to throw it as hard as I can and stick it. And then I'm going to come back. And I'm going to throw the ball hard. And I'm going to come back. Now, I want to work at getting off the stick. So I'm going to try to get back to here, my starting point, as fast as I can. Subtle difference, but a very important difference. There you go. Reactive trunk training. 3 planes of motion. What are you using? Momentum. What are you teaching? You're teaching your core how to stabilize your lumbar spine on the fly. You're teaching your core how to keep center of gravity over base of support when base of support is moving around. You're teaching your core how to handle momentum from the top down and the bottom up. Have a great time. Get it going. Work at 10 seconds, 20 seconds. But my suggestion is you start by doing some 30-second intervals and gradually building up your momentum. Keep that back safe. Remember, velocity is the key. Build it up as you start to feel those trunk muscles engaging and sticking. You'll know it because your foot's hitting the ground and you're getting back home and everything seems nice and rhythmical.